Hey there, it's Jed from Intentional Travelers and EV Camping with another Charge Up gear review. Thanks to Bluetti, not Blue Yeti, for sending us more of their portable power products to try out. In this video, we're unboxing the Bluetti AC60 portable power station and the B80 expansion battery. These items are sold individually and also as a package deal. The B80 provides extra juice for the AC60, that's what it's made for, but can also be used as a power station on its own. Let's start with the AC60. The AC60 is one of the most compact portable power stations in the Bluetti lineup because of its 504 watt-hour onboard battery capacity. When you first open the AC60 box, you get your standard manual. One of the things I like about Bluetti products in general is that the functions are intuitive. If you've ever plugged in an electrical device or pushed buttons to turn things on and off, then you're not going to find anything revolutionary in the manual, and you'll be able to use any of Bluetti's products. Next is the box of charging cables. Inside you'll find 3 charging cables for 3 charging options. The first is the AC charge cable. This is by far the fastest and the best way to recharge the AC60. Next is the car or cigarette lighter cable. This is one, if not the slowest ways to recharge the power station. Finally, you have the solar connect cables in case you purchase and use one of the solar panel kits that Bluetti offers. Remember when I said that the AC60 is one, if not the smallest and most portable power stations Bluetti has in their lineup? I'm not kidding. This thing is a lot more manageable and definitely not as heavy or as big as the B70S and the AC180 we reviewed previously. On the back, there's a light system with its own dedicated button. One of the sides has a cooling fan and power ports to connect to the expansion batteries like the B80. On the other side is where you'll find all the cable input areas to actually charge this power station. And on the top, you have a wireless charging area for compatible devices. What I love about the AC60 is that it has similar features that I love from its more expensive siblings. First, all of the ports have dust and sand covers for added durability. In the DC area, it has 1 USB-C and 2 USB-A ports. In the AC output areas, you have 2 AC plug outlets, and again, these have easy to use dust covers. Powering on the unit is a simple push of the main button that illuminates in some sort of space green color. For any charging, whether it be to a device or through the outlet, you have to turn on a specific area. You can individually turn them off, or you can turn the whole system off by holding down the main power button. One huge upgrade of this AC60 is the screen with way more helpful information. My favorite indicator is actually the time estimate, which gives you a sense of how long the power station can last and will change depending upon what device or how many things you have plugged into it. Pushing the main power button lightly turns off the screen, and to turn off the whole system, you hold down the power button until the green indicator light goes off. Don't forget, there's also wired charging capability on the top of the unit that is connected to the DC area, and so the DC button has to be on for this to work. Finally, on the back, the light turns on with different modes as long as the main system is turned on. You can click the button a couple times and the lights will get brighter or it'll flash. This is not connected to the DC or AC areas, just the main power button. Here's a closer look at the expansion area where you can connect up to 2 extra batteries to the power station. The other side of the AC60 has the cable input areas when you need to recharge the power station. As I mentioned, the best and fastest way to recharge is via the AC cable and plugging it into the outlet. When plugged in, the unit comes alive on its own. It shows it's connected to the grid, the wattage it's taking in, and the remaining time left until fully charged. One thing I really like about the AC60 is that while it's charging, it's relatively quiet. Again, another big upgrade from the EB70S. You can turn the screen on and off while charging. Now you might be wondering if you can charge from the power station while it's being charged, and the answer is yes. Similar to before, as long as you use the correct charging area and make sure it's turned on, you can use the power station as a bridge to charge other devices via its ports or its AC outlet. Let's now add the expansion battery, the B80, to the mix. Note the B80 box calls it a power station, even though its main reason for existing is to be extra capacity for other Bluetti power stations. The first thing important to note is that the only cable that comes in this box is a power connection cable meant to go between the B80 and other power stations. This is the only cable, which means you cannot actually recharge this device on its own unless you have a compatible Bluetti power station or your own DC charging cables. It's kind of strange. The B80 is actually smaller than the AC60, which is in itself pretty remarkable. Both are pretty portable. It has a power button, a DC button, a USB-C port, and a USB-A charging port. One side has nothing, and the other side has a cable port area that can connect to the other power station. There's nothing on the back, and in all of the product photos I've seen with these two, they are stacked, so I went ahead and stacked them to see how sturdy they are. The verdict? Pretty stable, but it could easily be knocked over by a child, dog, or anything with some force. Connecting the B80 and A60 is relatively easy via the power cable. You line up the image on the blue portion end of the cable with the port. There's a satisfying click when plugged in correctly. The AC60 can connect to two B80 expansion batteries, but to be honest, I'm not even sure why you would want even one. To charge both of the devices, you'll need the AC cable connected to the AC60 and then to the wall. As soon as you're plugged in, both power stations start to charge immediately. The input level is much higher connected to the expansion B80, and both indicators show that charge is happening. The time indicator now shows how long is left for both devices to be fully charged. Can you charge while charging? Again, the answer is yes. Don't forget to turn on the appropriate charging area. The B80 can also be used on its own, but there's no screen, there's limited ports, and no AC outlets. It does double the capacity of the AC60, but it's an extra device to purchase and have. In my honest opinion, if you need more charging capacity than what the AC60 provides, I would suggest purchasing the AC180 instead of these two. It combines the AC60 and B80 features and actually costs less than this package deal. So here's some final thoughts about the AC60 and the B80. I really like and highly recommend the AC60. If you are looking for a portable power station that can keep most of your smaller devices charged for a couple days and relatively regular usage, this is your device. Whether it's camping, some emergencies, or short events, this is the one to use. If you need more capacity and don't mind a more weight, I would recommend the slightly bigger and slightly more expensive AC180. It's hard for me to recommend the B80. It's not that it's a bad product and it's not built well. I just can't think of how useful it would be to have an extra power station for another power station. I don't know why it exists. That being said, I'm a huge fan of Bluetti products and have been really impressed with their build quality and functionality. They seem to listen to their customer base, and each device improves upon itself. I look forward to see what they'll come up with next. For more details about this power station package, hit up the link below, and until next time, charge on.